Hey, Kathy, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
This may be unconventional, but let's hear the good news first for a change.
All right, good news it is. I'm going shopping with my mom.
Oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. When are you going?
Actually, that's the bad news.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, but Mom says she wants to go today.
No way. Daryl, are you kidding me? You're going shopping with her today of all days?
I know, you don't have to tell me. I know today was the day we were supposed to go talk with the wedding planner.
If you knew that, then why did you say yes? Couldn't you have done shopping with your mom another day?
I said I was sorry. There was no way I could reschedule this shopping trip.
Why not?
Because Mom said she wanted to go today.
Why?
I don't know, she just said she wanted to go today, that's all I know. So yeah, how can I reschedule it if she wanted to go today?
Hold on. You're saying that the reason you couldn't reschedule to another day is because your mom wanted to go shopping today? Like, that's it? It's nothing urgent, there's no rush. She just wanted to go today, so you're going today? Am I missing something?
I don't know what there is to miss. This is my mom we're talking about, Kathy. The woman who gave birth to me, raised me, made me who I am today. She's my family.
Aren't we getting married? Doesn't that make us family?
We're not married yet, are we?
What, so once we officially tie the knot, then you'll start prioritizing your commitments to me?
And that depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on whether I need to prioritize my family or not.
Okay, now you've lost me. You said we're not married yet, so I'm not your family yet, but you won't give me priority over your mom even after we get married?
That's how family works, Kathy. Haven't you ever heard the expression, blood is thicker than water?
For the record, the original meaning of that expression is the opposite of how you're intending to use it, but that's beside the point. So there's no way you can reschedule this shopping trip with your mom then?
Not a chance. Mom says today, so we're going today.
Fine, we'll just have to reschedule the meeting with the wedding planner.
Are you insane? The wedding is in 2 months. We don't have the time to reschedule for a later date.
Are you telling me I have to go by myself?
Yeah, is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. This is supposed to be our wedding, isn't it?
And it's gonna be. I trust you to make the right decisions about everything, Kathy. I mean, what even is there to plan? You get a white dress, I get a black tuxedo. What else is there?
A ton of stuff! We need to choose the decorations, reception meal, invitation designs. I can't do this all by myself.
Well, you're gonna have to because Mom just pulled up in the car, so we're out of here. See you later, Kathy. Have fun talking with the wedding planner.
Hey there, Kathy. Listen, dear, I'm so sorry about taking Daryl shopping with me last week, but I just couldn't go shopping without him. I needed someone to carry all my bags for me. You pulled Daryl away from the meeting with the wedding planner just to carry your bags? When you're as wealthy as our family, a simple shopping trip can end up requiring a moving van to bring it all home. Not that you know anything about that. Right. So, did you get everything settled with the wedding then? Not quite. Let's just say there's a lot of work to do before this wedding happens. A lot of work. You had all afternoon to discuss things with her, though. Oh well, you'll just have to make time to meet with her again. Did you at least get your wedding dress picked out? No, we never got around to that. But the wedding dress is the most important thing in the wedding. That should have been your first priority. Well, without Daryl there, it was difficult to move the conversation along. No matter, I've got the perfect solution for you. You can wear my dress. Your dress? You mean the one that you wore at your wedding? That's right, dear. It's only ever been used once, and it's been sitting untouched in my closet ever since. I see. Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not so sure that would work out. Nonsense, it'll be great. It may smell a teensy-weensy bit like mothballs, but that only adds to the character of the dress, I'd say. It's sure to leave an impression at any rate. And isn't vintage clothing all the rage with the youth these days? I'm pretty sure my idea of vintage and yours are a few decades apart. Oh, and did I mention it was made by a famous designer? It cost me over $10,000 when I bought it, and that was 30 years ago. Oh, one more thing I should probably tell you. There are a few holes in it, but that's nothing that can't be stitched up. No one will even notice. Karen, I'm really grateful for you to offer to let me use your dress, but really, it's all right. When I get married, I want to be wearing a dress that I picked out for myself. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear. Let's try that again. Kathy, you are going to wear my dress to your wedding. Again, thank you for the kind offer, but I'm going to choose my own dress. That wasn't an offer. It was an order. Excuse me? I mean, really, who do you think you are, turning down my generosity like a pretentious little brat? That's uncalled for, Karen. If I'm being honest, I've seen pictures of your wedding, and I don't think your dress would look good on me. That's all. How dare you! You commoners are all the same. You wouldn't know high fashion if Coco Chanel personally came up and slapped you in the face. This is my son's wedding, and I will not allow you to wear some dress you bought at a sale at a department store. What do you mean, commoner? What is this, medieval Europe? You know exactly what I mean. Our family is a long line of successful entrepreneurs. Daryl has a high-paying job at an industrial giant, and one day he'll inherit our family's estate. And what are you doing with your life, Kathy? Daryl doesn't tell me much about your work, but I do know that you've been hopping from company to company on almost a monthly basis. I take it you've never heard of a freelancer, then? Is that what you young people call being a rolling stone these days? Not exactly. But anyway, this conversation has gone way off the rails. I'm not going to wear your wedding dress, Karen. That's all I have to say on the subject. You are in no position to say no to me. That Daryl, what was he thinking proposing to a girl like you? You're poor, you have no taste, you're insolent and ungrateful. He could have had any woman he wanted. Well, excuse me for being such a hot commodity. I'll have you know Daryl was the one who made the first move in our relationship. I was at a party when he came up to me and said he saw me from across the room, thought I was beautiful, and asked me out to dinner. But what really sealed the deal was when I cooked dinner for him at my place. He told me it was the best food he'd ever eaten. Better than yours, actually. So while you may not see any appeal in me, your son sure did. I don't believe that for 1 second. You, a better cook than me? Not a chance. If you don't believe me, you can ask him yourself. I'm a pretty good cook. I bet you had someone else cook it for you. What's that new app thingy called? Super Feats? It's Uber Eats, Karen. Whatever it's called, I don't care. The point is, you must have used some kind of trickery to make Daryl fall for you. Your feminine wiles may have worked on him, but I'm no fool. I see right through you. Don't forget that I can make my son do whatever I want him to. Trust me, I'm aware of that. Good, then you're aware that if I tell him to break up with you, your engagement is over. If you want to hold on to your dream of living on my family's money, then you had better watch your tongue. Good morning, Kathy. I'm sure you're wondering why we're not at the wedding, aren't you? Well, there's a very good reason for that. We all decided to go on vacation. You what? Me and my husband and my son are all in Hawaii. I can't believe this. Today is the wedding. You can't expect me to believe you forgot. No, we were all very aware the wedding was today when we bought our tickets. Okay, so you knew the wedding was today and you went on vacation anyway? Why would you do that? I know someone of your low stature may never understand this, but there's more to life than silly ceremonies. Silly ceremony? You think your son's wedding is a silly ceremony? Obviously, dear. The whole thought of my son marrying a shrill harpy from the slums is so utterly ridiculous it borders on comical. But even if you were someone of any real importance, family is still the most important thing in this world. Ah, I see where Daryl got his ideas on marriage from. So you're under the impression that someone's birth family is more important than their spouse, is that right? It's simply the natural law of the world. I gave birth to him, Kathy. There is nothing you could ever do to make him love you more than me. You should get used to the fact as soon as possible, since you'll be his wife sooner or later. Sooner or later, huh? Well, seeing as you guys are in Hawaii right now, I guess it's looking to be more on the later side. I mean, I have to say, this is just astonishing. I'm almost too shocked to be angry at you. What possible excuse could you have to plan a vacation for the day of your son's wedding? Please, I'm just dying to hear any justification you have. You sound like such a Taurus right now. Oh, no. Oh, please, no. Tell me this doesn't have anything to do with astrology. Everything has to do with astrology, you uncultured fool. The horoscope was clear. Today was a good day for traveling. The second I read this week's newspaper, I went out and bought the tickets for all three of us. Without even talking to Daryl first? Why bother? He's my son. I know he would never disobey me. And sure enough, when I told him we were going on vacation, he immediately spoke to his superior and got his paid time off approved. We've spent the last few days discussing all the fun, adventurous things we want to do while we're here. I'm glad to hear the three of you have such good communication. Tell me, Karen, at any point in the last few days while you were discussing your wonderful Hawaiian vacation, did you ever think to tell anyone else about your trip? I'm confused. Who else would we tell? I don't know. How about me? You know, the person who was supposed to marry your son today? Oh, well, I guess we must have forgotten about you. Sorry about that. Don't worry, though. This was meant to be. It was written in the stars that my family would go on this vacation. You might be upset about that now, but I'm sure that something good will come out of all this. One day you'll come to be grateful that we took this vacation. We'll see about that. And what about the guests? What about them? What am I supposed to tell them? They're all gathered at the chapel right now, waiting for the wedding to start. What are you going to do about them? I don't care. Tell them whatever you'd like. No one from our side of the family is there. It's all your relatives. So you're not concerned that my relatives all went out of their way to come to a wedding that is now going to be canceled? Some people traveled to be here. Others took time off of work. Yes, and? Your family is nothing but menial laborers. If they did important jobs like my Daryl, maybe it would merit an apology, but they should be thanking me, if anything. They're free to spend the rest of the day doing whatever they'd like now that the wedding is canceled. Tell them they can go home and drink or watch football or whatever it is that you poor people do on your days off. Okay, I've heard enough of your disgusting lies about my family. My family are not poor, and they do not spend their days off drinking and watching football. But that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part is that you are severely prejudiced against people less fortunate than you. You were born into a wealthy family. Congratulations, you won the genetic lottery. Some people, however, had to work for what they have in life. My parents were both born poor, but they started their own business. That business grew and grew and grew, and they're doing quite well for themselves now. Oh, congratulations. How's the lawn service business doing? I bet you're mowing at least 3 lawns a week. Enough. You owe me and my entire family an apology this instant. I don't owe you or your family anything. You owe me and my family for paying the taxes that keep you alive. What is wrong with you? I've told you so many times, we're not poor. Your pathetic lies won't work on me, Kathy. I know what you are, and I always have. I will not apologize to you because I've done nothing wrong. Now hurry up and tell the wedding staff that the wedding is canceled. You're the ones who are canceling it, not me. You talk to them. I have much better things to do with my time, like getting a massage, eating tropical fruits, basking in the glorious Hawaiian sun. You really are something else, Karen. You, Daryl, and your whole family, you're all sick. Nonsense, we're not sick. We've never felt better. The tropical breeze here really soothes the body and soul. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm off to enjoy the scenery now. Tell the staff and guests the wedding is canceled. What wedding? What other wedding is there? Your wedding. My wedding? Why would I have a wedding today? Whatever game you're playing, I'm not interested. It's no game. What, were you under the impression Daryl and I were getting married? Why would we be getting married when he never even proposed? He never... What? Daryl never proposed. And there was never going to be a wedding today, so there's nothing to cancel. But you just said... About my family being here? Yeah, that was a lie. Daryl never asked me to marry him, so I never reserved a venue, caterer, nothing. But, that's impossible. Then why did you go to the wedding planner? Beats me. One day, Daryl suddenly started acting as though we were getting married. That was surprising to me, considering, once again, he never asked me and I never said yes, but I just kind of went along with it. Then one day, he told me he made a reservation to talk with the wedding planner. That was the day you took him shopping. I told you we didn't get much planned, right? That's because we spent the entire meeting on a different subject. What in the world were you talking about then? How big of a jerk Daryl is. What? I told her how he never proposed, he just kept pushing me along toward marriage, and I didn't know what to do about it. So we talked about our relationship for a while, and at the end she told me, Kathy, you need to walk away from this relationship as soon as possible. And you know what? She is right. I don't want to marry an insensitive jerk like him. I wouldn't put up with your family's toxicity even if I did want any of your money. But I don't need it, so I'm leaving. Enjoy your vacation. Kathy, wait! I don't understand!
You're wrong, Kathy. I did propose to you. Why would you deny that? Don't you remember the night we went to that fireworks show? I bought the best, most expensive seats they had. We were the closest to the launch area of anyone in the crowd. Then during the finale, they did that crazy thing where there were like 20 things shooting off at the same time, and that was when I proposed. I said, clear as day, let's get married.
You did? That's odd. I don't remember hearing you say that at all.
You what? I asked you to be my wife and you weren't even listening to me?
Reread the texts you just sent me about the fireworks show, and it should all become clear to you.
I read everything again and I still don't get it.
Oh, for the love of... I couldn't hear myself think during that finale. Like you said, there were dozens of things exploding at the same time, practically right above our heads.
You should have been paying more attention to me. What's more important, me or the fireworks?
During the finale? The fireworks! Regardless of whether I heard you or not, I definitely didn't say yes.
Yes, you did!
When? How? Did I ever say, yes, Daryl, I want to marry you?
No, but you smiled.
And?
You smiled right when I said, let's get married. I thought that you had heard me, but you were just too shy to say the words.
No way. You took a smile during the fireworks show as me saying yes to getting married?
What else was I supposed to think?
That I was enjoying the show. I wasn't even looking at you, was I?
Well, no, but still.
But nothing, Daryl. Look, whether you proposed to me or not is really not the issue anymore. Let's say for a second that you did everything right. You got down on one knee, looked me in the eyes, whipped out a ring, and said, will you marry me? Let's even say, for the purpose of the argument, that I said yes and meant it. After the events of these past few months, I would have broken off the engagement anyway.
What? How can you say that? What have I done to you that would make you want to break up with me?
Oh boy, how much time do you have? Sit down, this'll be a while. The only work you did regarding the wedding was to make the reservation with the planner. You pushed all the other work onto me. You never even sat down and looked at the pamphlets you picked up together with me. Then you blew off the reservation you made to go shopping with your mom?
But I thought that weddings were more of a woman's thing. Don't women like to have everything exactly how they wanted it? I was footing the bill for it so you could have whatever kind of wedding you wanted.
No, sorry, that excuse isn't gonna fly with me. You didn't make me do all of the work out of concern for my wishes. You were just being lazy. You never even asked me about what we talked about when I went to see the planner. You were clearly indifferent to the whole thing and insensitive to me. I would never marry a man who was so inconsiderate of me and my feelings as you are.
Kathy, please, I do care about your feelings. Why won't you believe me?
You told me I still wouldn't get priority over your mom even after we got married.
Yeah, but we already had that talk. Family comes first.
Oh yeah? I learned all about your family's bizarre notions of marriage and family life. You're exactly like your mother. I don't want anything to do with your family.
Look, I messed up, I know, but I can do better.
No, Daryl, I really don't think you can. Give it up. I will never marry you. Enjoy your vacation, Daryl. This is goodbye. I just heard about everything from Daryl. I can't believe you didn't actually hear him propose. I already talked about this enough for one day, Karen. I'd like to move on with my life now, if that's all right. It's all water under the bridge. We do have one final bit of unfinished business, however. Stop sending me that dress. I am not going to wear it to marry your son or any other man. I have spent far too much on return shipping as it is. I was only trying to be helpful. You know what would be helpful? If you could stop harassing the hotel staff. Harassing? I'm not harassing anyone. You've been doing nothing but making ridiculous demands from the hotel staff since you arrived and screaming your head off at them when they decline. You asked for free dinners, free upgrades, free room service, and more perks because your son is getting married. He's not anymore, but even if the wedding were still on, that wouldn't entitle you to free room and board. I didn't ask for that much. You even asked them to knock 50% off the price of your stay because Daryl might come back there for his honeymoon. Hey, wait a second. How do you know all of this? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, I would. Now tell me. My parents own that hotel. You're lying. Well, to be more accurate, their company owns the hotel. They operate the one you're staying at and a couple others in Hawaii. Not to mention a bunch more all across the country. And to think back, it all started with buying an old bed and breakfast and renovating it. You're serious, aren't you? But if that's true, then your parents must be some of the wealthiest people on the planet. They're 1%ers at any rate. Why didn't you ever tell me about them? I don't know. You never asked. I doubt you'd believe me even if I had told you. You were so committed to holding this image of me as being some poor girl from the slums until my knight in shining armor Daryl came to sweep me off my feet. So you'll have to understand why I didn't talk to you very much about my family after you spent all that time belittling them before even meeting them. You had no right to keep that from me. I absolutely did, but while we're at it, would you like to hear more about my job? I'm a freelance hotel management consultant. That's why I kept going from hotel to hotel, because I would get hired to consult for them on a specific issue, and when the job was done, I moved on. I'm doing this as a sort of training program for when I one day take over my parents' empire of hotels. I've done consulting work in just about all the major tourism destinations in the country by now. It's a great experience. You're kidding. You are going to run the business? Who would be better than me? I've been working with my mom and dad from the very beginning. I started out sweeping up the floors in their first bed and breakfast after school, and look at me now. So, Karen, did I convince you yet that I'm not poor? Yes, you have. You know, I will admit one thing. You might have just convinced me about astrology. Your horoscope was 100% right. Something good did come out of your vacation. I am finally rid of your psycho family. It never quite sunk in for Daryl that I was through with him. He kept on messaging me for weeks on end about being sorry and begging me to take him back. In the end, I just turned off notifications for his texts and calls. He can continue to shout into the void if he wants. His mom did the same thing, begging me to take Daryl back. She was even generous enough to buy me a brand new dress, any dress I wanted. Her, I blocked. You won't be surprised to hear that Karen blamed the breakup of the non-engagement on me when she explained everything to her relatives. But somehow word got around to them about, everything. About the proposal that never happened, the way Karen tried to force me to wear her ragged old dress, the way they went to Hawaii on the day of the wedding. It wasn't me, honest. Well, maybe it was me. But now their relatives are starting to call and visit much less than they did before.
Hey, Gwen? That last time, what hospital were you admitted to again? I remember there being that really famous doctor and everything there, right?
Huh? Joel, why are you asking me about that? The last time we even talked was 3 years ago, just before you went and divorced me. And since then, you haven't said one thing to me.
Has it really been that long since the divorce?
Yeah, it happened because you were cheating on me with my sister Elaine.
Is that what happened then?
So what is this all about? You were looking for the hospital that I went to back then? I didn't think stupid people like yourself could get sick with anything, but I guess even memoryless idiots can get ill, huh?
Nice one. Well, this time it's not me that needs to go to the hospital, though. It's your sister Elaine that's not feeling well at all right now.
Wait, what? Mika's the one who's sick?
She went and had a health exam done on herself, and something pretty serious came up when she did. The doctor at the clinic told her she needs to have more tests done on her to pinpoint what's wrong, and so I was thinking of taking her to the hospital you went to. See, I'm really worried about her right now, and I need her to go to the best hospital there is in this region.
I see. Well, how considerate of you, Joel. I remember when I had that bad collapse from overworking and you just told me to suck it up and deal with being that sick.
Well, you didn't have some kind of really bad illness.
And in the end, my condition only worsened until I had to be rushed to the hospital and taken for scans.
And it cost a lot of money to pay for those scans, didn't it?
Do you know why I was so sick, Joel? Because I had to work my butt off to pay your debts. You never wanted to tell me about how you secretly got into gambling and racked up such a debt, and that led to me having to work from sunrise to sunset every single day trying to get the money you needed. And yet when my body couldn't take any more of the abuse and I was sent to the hospital, you never once came to visit me.
And? What good would visiting you have done again? It's not like me being there with you would have cured whatever was wrong, and it sure wasn't gonna help me pay off my debts.
Don't be so ridiculous, Joel. While I was in the hospital after being overworked because of you, you were out cheating on me with Elaine. I don't even think you were going to work anymore to help pay off your debt. And a long time later, when you finally came to visit me there, all you wanted to do was talk about getting a divorce after you threw those papers on me.
All right, I remember that happening too. I remember you were just lying there doing nothing at all in that hospital bed, and the moment I pulled those papers out, you began to bawl. Seeing that ugly crying face you had then made me laugh so much inside.
What?
I'm telling you right now, Gwen, a woman who collapses from putting in a little bit of extra work deserves to be left. When it came to your sister Elaine, she was able to pay off all that debt I was in no time. Being with a career-based woman working for a massive company is the best. Because she's working so much, I was able to quit my job and I'm a stay-at-home husband now.
That's right. I had heard about how the two of you got married, but I never expected that you'd quit your job and become a stay-at-home husband afterwards.
Well, Elaine is the one supporting me now, so that means if her health isn't at 100%, then I need to get her back to that pronto, which means I need you to tell me the name of that hospital you went to so that I can get her there for testing.
Help me, Gwen. I don't know what to do about all this anymore. First, I had to talk with Joel again, and now I'm having to hear from you? What is going on with you two? Why do you both keep on texting me about all your strange crap now? Don't call it stranger crap. I am seriously in need of your help over here, Gwen. I was diagnosed with a serious illness, and it's going to require me to get a kidney transplant. You're going to have a kidney replaced? The other day, Joel was telling me about how you had some health issues and needed to get more testing. But I didn't think things would get that bad for you. Right? I told him the hospital I went to before, and after that, he had finally shut up. And we went there. Did you end up getting all the testing done that you needed? Yes, and the doctor insisted that I start looking for someone to be my donor right away after what he discovered. Thankfully, Joel was being very proactive by saying we needed to get those tests done right away, or who knows how long I would have waited on them. But anyway, it turns out that both of my kidneys are screwed and I'll need to get at least one new one to beat this disease. I see. I knew that something was wrong because I had noticed some swelling at my sides, but I never thought I'd have a life-threatening disease. Well, having 2 diseased kidneys is a very serious thing. And for a lot of people, they don't ever beat the illness in time. And that's why they're saying I need to get a kidney transplant as soon as possible, Gwen. They've been giving me some medication and such to slow down the progress, but I need a new kidney soon or else I'm going to be stuck on a dialysis machine for life. So please, Gwen, could you give me one of your kidneys? What was that? What makes you think I want to give you one of my precious kidneys? You're the only person I can ask for this. And it's not like you only have 1 kidney, you have 2. So? Right now, your cute little sister is in serious trouble and needs one of those 2 kidneys you have. So as my big sister, you have to help me, right? You're going to ask for my help right now after what you did to me 3 years ago? Why don't you ask your husband now for one of his kidneys? He has to have 2 healthy ones as well, right? I can't ask him to do something like this for me. But I thought you and him were destined for one another, and that's why you stole him from me. With such a strong fate as that, he must be the one to give you one of his kidneys. That's impossible for him, though, and that's why I'm not going to ask him. Are you worried that he might leave you if you ask? As someone who's experienced him firsthand, I know what the asshole is like. And since you were dating him at the time I was hospitalized, you should be aware of the kind of man he is as well, right? Well, it's not my fault he went for me while you were sick. He told me he hated troublesome women, and that's why he made the move on me first, and we started dating from then on. Bingo! Gwen, I cannot tell someone like Joel how serious things are. Are you afraid that he'll do the same thing to you as he did to me then? Worried that maybe while you're in the hospital he's going to find yet another woman and replace you? I don't think he'll be able to because he loves the money that I earn him, you know that. But there's always a chance he might. A big chance, I think. I heard about how Joel turned into a stay-at-home husband after you both got married. He told me about how you have this really good job that pays well and that he wanted to stay home to support you. But if you're going to be hospitalized for some time now, you won't be able to work and make that money he loves you for. And if that happens, he's going to want to move on to another woman, right? But he shouldn't! But he will. Can't you see he's the kind of unfaithful trash that is willing to replace his wife the moment something goes wrong with her? If he runs into an even more successful woman than you while you're in the hospital, you can kiss your husband goodbye. But I don't want him to leave me! Then your only option is to ask him to give you one of his kidneys so you can get over that disease right now. But having to do that would be a big deal for him, and he doesn't like that. So you're going to have to figure out things soon before you become too weak and end up in the hospital like I did, and before he leaves you and you lose your chance of getting a new kidney. But, Gwen, I can't tell him about it. I really want to tell him how serious this all is, but I'm afraid. I can't trust that he'll stay by my side throughout all of this completely anymore. Well, that's too bad. It's really sad that you can't trust the man you married to love you, but that's what you get for what you did to me. Now, if you're really not going to be able to tell him about what's wrong with you, you're going to have to hide it and hope someone else along the way gives you a kidney. There isn't going to be anyone else because I'll be placed on this long list of waiting patients and who knows how many years that will take. That's why I'm asking you now to give me one of yours, please. And I'll say this one more time. Absolutely not. I hope you find the courage to talk with Joel about this soon, Elaine. Come on now, Gwen! I'm asking you to please give me one of them. Don't you want to help your poor little sister who's in trouble right now? I can sympathize with you for being ill and all, but I do not feel bad for you one bit. Also, I don't even have to help you now, considering you're not like family to me anymore. Now, goodbye forever, Elaine. I wish you the best of luck getting over that illness. No way!
You get to this hospital right now! Gwen, come here and give her one of your kidneys right now. You heard from both myself and your sister about how ill she is and that she'll need a transplant now. She even asked you to give up one of yours, but you refused her, right? Why did you refuse her?
Well, it seems that Elaine was able to tell you about how sick she is. Why don't you go ahead and give her one of your kidneys, Joel? She is your beloved wife, after all, and is suffering through a lot. Why don't you go ahead and give her a kidney to show her how much you love her?
I can't donate one of my kidneys to her? Are you serious?
What do you mean by you can't? I already looked this up, and online it said you don't have to have the same blood type even to donate to another person. So as her husband, you shouldn't have any problem at all giving her one of yours, right?
The problem isn't the blood type, but me. I can't handle getting on the operating table and having surgery like that done. I know that we all have two kidneys, but the thought of having to lose one of mine really scares me. Having two of them reduced down to one is like losing my life by half.
But from what I've heard, you can live just fine with only one.
But here's the thing, I don't care how close the person to me is that's sick, I don't want to have to give up one of my own kidneys to save them. Even if it's not going to harm me in any way to lose one, I want to keep it.
You really are just as cold-hearted as the day you left me, even towards your ill wife.
You're the cold-hearted one, Gwen. You're her older sister of all people, and yet you're just going to abandon her? It should be you giving her your kidney, not me.
You're despicable to me for asking someone else to give up their kidney because you're too selfish to let go of one of your own. And what makes all of this even more annoying is that I'm your ex-wife.
Don't worry about that, though. I'm not asking you to do this for her for free, okay? I'll give you something in return for your kidney, so it'll be a fair deal.
You're going to give me something in return if I give her one of my kidneys?
If you do go ahead and give her a kidney, then I'll pay you. How does $5,000 sound?
Sorry, Joel, but I don't need your money. So no matter how much you offer me to do it, I'm not going to.
What?
Do you understand now what this means? This means I really do hate the both of you just that much. Yeah, I feel a little bad for Elaine right now, but I'm sure as hell not going to help her. So if you're not going to donate a kidney to her, then you'll have to watch as your wife withers away.
Are you kidding me? I'm offering you $5,000 right now and begging you to do this for us. I get that we're divorced now, but you were once my wife, Gwen. And as my former wife, you should be obeying what I'm asking from you.
What?
You can't say no to me. My words as your former husband are absolute here. I have the money on me right now, so you come here and take it before getting on that operating table.
What?
As the older sister, you should be willing to do whatever it takes to help Elaine. If you were to abandon your own family right now, then you'd be viewed as less than human. So you get here right now and give her one of your damn kidneys.
What sister are you even talking about? I don't have any sisters.
What?
I don't have a little sister anymore. 3 years ago, after I learned that you'd been cheating on me with Elaine, I made sure to cut ties to her right then and there. So you trying to persuade me into giving up a kidney for her because she's my little sister isn't going to work.
How can you say something so cold as that? Even if you cut ties to her, she's extremely sick now. Both of your parents passed away a long time ago, which makes you the only family she has left, right? Are you really just going to abandon her like this?
Yep, because she was the one to betray me first. She's the one that knowingly took you, my husband at the time, away from me. Which means I no longer have any sister worth risking my own life for.
Don't you give me that as an excuse. I'm sitting here asking you to please just donate one kidney and you're still refusing? If you don't come here and save her life right now, I'll never forgive you.
You think I care that you won't forgive me? We're not even married anymore, yet you act as though you're still my husband and like I still care about what you think. Maybe while you're there at the hospital, you should have a doctor take a look at your head. I'm sure they'll be able to diagnose something seriously wrong with your head.
No way!
Now, I'm tired of having to talk with you about something so meaningless to me, so don't you ever contact me again. All you are is just some coward who's too afraid to donate one of his own kidneys in order to save his wife. Goodbye. You're a real jerk, Gwen. Why won't you help me right now? Even Joel was trying to convince you to come here and help me, but you told him off as well. How about instead of bothering someone who has nothing to do with you guys, you handle that as a couple would? I think you're better off trying to convince your husband to give you a kidney than some rando. But I can't, Gwen. I can't even get a response from him anymore. What? I think Joel went and abandoned me. He told me that he would come to the hospital to visit me again today, but he still hasn't shown up. I got worried and gave him a call, but he wouldn't pick any of them up. Then when I was about to call him again, he sent me a text saying that he wants to get a divorce. Wow. So he's doing the same thing he did to me, to you now. I never thought that he'd actually go through with something like this, Gwen. I already have it bad enough knowing that both of my kidneys are trying to kill me right now, but having to hear that the one person I love wants to leave me? He's such a jackass. I understand how you must be feeling right now. 3 years ago, I felt the exact same way you feel now. I was already in the hospital having to battle an illness when I learned that my husband that never visited me wanted a divorce, and that he'd been cheating on me with my little sister. The despair I felt then was indescribable. I'm sorry, Gwen. Back then I was only thinking about myself and Joel and ended up hurting you so much. I'm really, really sorry. So please, could you come here and help me? You're the only one who hasn't fully abandoned me yet, right? Even if you want to apologize for all of that now, it's too late. I no longer consider you family or a part of my life. What? But Gwen, if you leave me for real, then I'll be all alone. Goodbye, Elaine. Good luck living with that illness of yours for however much time you have left. This is the outcome you get when you go and live a life all about yourself and not anyone else.
Gwen, let me inside your house right now. I was able to find my way all the way to your house after all, so let's live together again. Let's you and I go back to being a couple again.
What? You just got up and abandoned my sister and now you're wanting to get back together with me? How much more selfish can you possibly get, Joel?
Oh, come on, don't be so cold about this. Deep down, I know that you're really happy to hear that I'm back.
Bull crap, I'm happy you're back. I absolutely hate your guts, Joel. So don't you ever say such stupid nonsense about me again.
Did you know that hating someone is just another form of being interested in them? If you really do hate me as much as you say you do, then that means you have still not forgotten about me. In other words, you still do have some feelings for me, right? You still love me, don't you?
What?
I promise I won't ever betray you ever again, Gwen. Even if you become really sick again and end up back in the hospital, I promise that I'll be there for you. So come on, let's get married one more time.
Are you kidding me right now?
You're still single after 3 years because you've been waiting for me to come back to you, right?
I'm not single, though. I'm married to a new man now. So how about you shut your damn mouth right now and leave?
You're married? Wait, when did that happen? How could you have gotten married and not told me anything about it?
Huh? Why does it matter to you what I do after we got divorced, Joel? We're not a thing anymore, remember? That means I don't have to tell you anything about what I'm doing in my life.
Don't start joking around with me. Tell me, who's the guy you married? Tell me the name of the man who dared to lay hands on my woman.
You've already met with him before, actually. My husband was the doctor that told Gwen about her condition and that you ran into later in the hospital when you went to see her. He's the one who would be performing her surgery if she ever gets a donor as well. He was the doctor who took care of me when I was a sick patient in the past, after all.
What?
After he took care of me while I was recovering, we started to go out with one another, and we just got married last year.
You got married to that doctor?
He was the one who supported me through my journey to overcome all the terrible cards I'd been dealt. And even after being discharged from the hospital, I'd go back to him for a follow-up. That's where our relationship to one another really developed and how we eventually got married.
No freaking way! You actually got married to a doctor? I can't believe this right now!
He was telling me about you this past week, actually. He told me that you were so unwilling to give up one of your kidneys for your wife that you refused to come into the hospital anymore. And before that, you were asking him all these questions about when you'd be getting an insurance payout for Elaine if she passed away.
Wait, that had nothing to do with money, okay? To me, insurance and all of that is very important. And when I found out that Elaine didn't have any life insurance, I had to beg the company to let her on my insurance plan and get the doctor's help with that. But he refused to help me because he's such a stubborn jerk.
Don't start getting my husband involved in any of your insurance fraud schemes then. No wonder he refused to help you with that. Why would he ever want to do something like that for a man that could easily save his wife's life?
Hey, Gwen! Let's get back together, all right? I'm sure it was a long and tough journey for you to find that doctor after the divorce, but I didn't leave you because I hated you. I'm betting that you coming back to me will make you a much happier wife than you are with that doctor.
I'm not doing that. I already had to say no about giving up a kidney for my conniving little sister, and now I'm going to have to say no to getting back together with a cheating man like you. I'm never letting you or my sister ever waste any of my time or my body ever again. This is it, Joel. I am blocking your number forever now.
Wait, what?
Goodbye now. I really do hope that after you've divorced Elaine, you can find yourself a woman who makes lots of money and never gets sick. Though there's always a chance that you'd end up in a hospital bed next and have to waste away all by yourself.
That's never gonna happen to me.
But look at you. You're getting older just like I am. However, you haven't been taking any care of yourself at all and look like a whale. So it's only a matter of time until you have to do your time on the hospital bed.
But that's why I'm asking you to come back to me, Gwen!
But I'm not asking for you to come back to me, so bye-bye. I hope you can get your life back on track so that you're not next in line for one of those oh-so-scary surgeries. After all of that, Joel went and quietly walked off my property, and after taking some time to think things through, went back to the hospital to be with Elaine. He went there and poured his heart out, saying he was sorry for saying he wanted a divorce, and that he really wanted to stay with Elaine more than he first thought. However, after having heard about wanting to divorce her and come back to me, Elaine told him that he was the worst man ever, and that if he wanted her to forgive him, he'd have to donate one of his kidneys to her. That was her deal to him, a kidney for them both to remain together as a married couple. But Joel, feeling as though she was using the divorce as a weapon to force him into surgery, told her she was being unfair and that he'd never give her a kidney no matter what. Since then, those two have been having daily shouting matches in Elaine's hospital room about whether or not it's going to be a divorce or Joel donating a kidney. According to my husband, though, he said that pretty soon here security is going to have to kick Joel out of the hospital because their arguments are causing too much trouble for all the other patients. He also told me that the waiting list for a kidney transplant is very, very long, and so Elaine's only chance really is for Joel to donate. Because if he doesn't, there's a very high chance that Elaine will have to stay on dialysis forever, and that may lead to her having a sooner than normal death. Either way, I don't really care what happens with those two, and since I've never been in a situation as crazy as that one before, I can't really sympathize with Elaine anymore.
Mallory, this is your mother. You need to wire $1,000 into my bank account right away. And just to make myself clear, I do not mean today. I do not mean this week. I do not mean whenever you can get around to it. I mean right this very instant. What's the rush? I just sent you some money a week ago. What happened to all of that? It wasn't anywhere near enough. I need an additional $1,000 right away, and I don't want to hear any more lip from you about it. Get yourself to the bank right now and send me the money. If you don't, the transfer won't get cleared in time for this weekend. Okay, if you're demanding $1,000 from me on top of the money I already sent you, then you owe me an explanation. What's going on this weekend that you need $1,000 for? What are you going to spend it on? Not that you deserve to know, but fine. I just got a call from Carl a few minutes ago. He told me that he wants to bring his fiancée by the house to introduce her to me. Not just that, he wants to come over this weekend. Apparently Saturday is the only day for the foreseeable future where they're both free. Wait a minute, did you just say fiancé? You mean to tell me my little brother is finally getting married? Well, aren't you clever? You figured that out all by yourself? In any case, I need to buy an entirely new outfit before she gets here. This is the woman that my dear precious son is going to spend the rest of his life with. I have to do my best to leave a good impression on her. Wow, that's so great to hear. I remember when we would play together in the sandbox in the backyard, and now he's getting married. I want to meet the lucky lady too. When were they planning on being at your place? I'll try to get there around the same time as them. What on earth are you going on about? I don't remember inviting you. Quite the contrary, I would never allow a pathetic college dropout like yourself to be anywhere near my home when they come over. Huh? His fiancée is a graduate of the same medical school as Carl. And what's more, her parents are wealthy entrepreneurs who run their own hospital. When I looked up the name of the hospital, I was blown away. It's one of the biggest in the state. They have world-class experts in multiple fields practicing there. They must have enough money to rival Elon Musk. Well, that certainly is an impressive family background. But I'm not understanding what the connection is between her family being rich and me not being allowed to meet her. Naturally, you wouldn't. You're far too stupid to make such a simple connection. Your brother Carl is a genius. He graduated at the top of his class and is already a prominent doctor at his young age. Likewise, his fiancée is a brilliant medical expert and the heiress to her family's hospital. And what are you, Mallory? You're nothing. All you are is an idiot who couldn't even make it through one lousy year of college before quitting. Excuse me? Did I not make myself clear? You do not deserve to be in the same room as Carl and his fiancée. If anything, you don't even belong on the same planet. There is no reason to subject either of them to someone of your lowly stature. Yeah, I'm still not getting the connection here. What does my educational attainment have to do with my brother getting married? I'm his sister, aren't I? All I want to do is meet the woman who's going to become my sister-in-law. And what gives you the right to deny me that opportunity? Silence, you petulant wretch! I am your mother, and I forbid you to come. End of discussion. Now stop wasting my time with your immature antics and rush down to the bank. You need to send me $1,000 before they close. Don't you dare show your face at my house this weekend. I'll call the police on you and have you arrested for trespassing.
Yo, Mallory! Hey, I've got great news for you. I'm getting married. I bet you never thought you'd see the day, huh? So yeah, I was gonna bring her to the house to introduce her to Mom, and I'd really love for you to meet her too.
Congratulations, Carl. I'm really happy for you. You're a bit late, though. I actually just heard about your engagement from Mom. She said you're bringing her by the house this weekend, right?
Oh, you mean you already knew? Man, why'd Mom have to go and spoil it? Ah, well, what's important is that you know. Are you free this weekend? Can you come down to Mom's house too? That way you can both meet her at the same time. I don't know when we'll be able to come back to town next. We're both pretty busy.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry, Carl, but as much as I would love to come and see the two of you, right after Mom told me you were coming, she told me that I wasn't allowed to be there.
What?
Apparently she thinks I don't deserve to meet her because you guys are both doctors and I dropped out of college. She also did a bit of digging into your fiancé's family, which only added more fuel to that fire. She's not just a doctor, she's a doctor who also happens to be the heiress to a wealthy family. Mom also called me stupid and idiot and told me that I don't deserve to live on the same planet as you.
I don't believe this! Is she still going on about that? How much longer is she gonna keep giving you crap about not finishing college?
It's It's not even about college or anything. She'd still treat me like this if I got a PhD. Ever since we were kids, you were always her favorite. You always got great grades. You had a ton of friends. You were great at sports. And now you're a graduate of a prominent medical school and working as a doctor.
My success doesn't give her the right to treat you like you're less than me, playing favorites with her own children. What is wrong with our mom, Mallory?
I don't know what's wrong with her, but she clearly thinks you're the best thing that's going right for her. I hear she's constantly bragging about you. You remember that necklace you bought her for her birthday? She went around to all the neighbors to show it off. She was like, "You remember my precious son Carl? You know, the elite doctor making tons of money? Check out this necklace he bought me. It must have cost him a fortune."
She knows exactly how much it costs. She was the one who was constantly pestering me to buy that thing for her. She does that all the time, too. She'll find something she wants online and constantly beg me to buy it for her. Then when I finally break down and do it, I never hear from her again until she finds the next thing she wants.
At least she tells you thank you when you get her stuff. She typically throws away the stuff I get for her. After sending me a barrage of vulgar texts telling me what an awful gift it was, mind you.
My God, Mallory, I think we have the deep misfortune of being born to a soap opera character.
Right? I mean, her favoritism is so over the top that it's almost funny.
I mean, really, who gives their kids crap over not going to college? She should see the research on how far the cost-effectiveness of university education has plummeted over the last few decades. About the only people who should go to college are people like me who need to go to get certified. And besides, you're doing plenty well for yourself even without having a college degree.
Yeah, and that's just not enough for our dear mother. She only loves us to the extent she can brag about us, and my lack of a college degree makes it harder for her to do that, I suppose.
She ought to be ashamed of herself. I'm embarrassed for her, honestly. Okay, so forget about her. We'll have to arrange for some other time for you to meet my fiancé. Do you know what your schedule looks like for the next few weeks? Let me know. One of us could always take the afternoon off to come and visit you.
No, I would hate for you to have to take time off because of me. I mean, an afternoon off for you would cost you enough money to buy a sports car, wouldn't it?
Okay, that is an exaggeration. I don't make that much money.
Maybe not, but I'll bet your fiancé has enough money in her account to buy an entire car company. Anyway, I'll send you my schedule. And if there's a conflict, I'll be the one to take time off, okay? Goodness me, Carl's fiancée was such a fine young lady. Everything about her was impeccable. The way she walked, the way she talked, it all shows that she's a well-educated girl from a high-class family. To think a girl as fine as her is going to be my daughter-in-law. It's like a dream come true. It sounds like you approve of her. That's good to hear. She does seem like a nice girl, doesn't she? Nice doesn't even begin to describe her. Don't insult her with your limited vocabulary. Carl says they're going to have the wedding sometime within the year. I can't wait. It's going to be the best day of my life. Me too. I'm going to have to make sure to keep my schedule open. Did he give you a rough idea of when the wedding was going to be? The sooner I know, the easier it will be for me to get time off. Yes, he told me when the wedding is going to be. Okay. Are you gonna, tell me when it is? Under no circumstances whatsoever. There is no place at your brother's wedding for you, so don't bother taking time off of work. You can just go and do whatever menial tasks they usually make you do. Really? Yes, really, and I think you know why. You were too stupid to get through college, but please tell me you're not stupid enough to make me explain myself here. I think I have a pretty good guess. It's because I dropped out of college, right? Right you are, Mallory. Both the bride and groom are elite doctors who graduated from elite universities. That means the wedding guests will all be similarly elite, educated, wealthy people. There definitely won't be any other pathetic failure dropouts there besides you. It would be humiliating for you to be in such high-class company. It's for your own good that you stay home. I don't think Carl is implementing a college degree requirement for attendance at his wedding. Not to mention, I am his sister. But that's the reason you're telling me I can't come, huh? That's awfully petty and stupid. Their wedding is going to be quite a spectacle. Everything is going to be top-notch, from the decorations in the chapel to the live music during the reception. It will be the kind of event that you have to be highly educated to even understand how incredible it is. So it would all be a total waste on you. I can't allow Carl to waste any of his hard-earned money on someone who doesn't even know caviar from chicken nuggets.
Whatever, I give up. You won't tell me the date for the wedding? Fine. I'll just go to work on that day like usual. Would that make you happy?
Nothing you ever do could possibly make me happy. But I am relieved, though, to know you at least have the common decency to not ruin your brother's wedding. Mallory, are you there? I have a question for you.
What do you want, Mom?
What are your plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow? I'm gonna go into the office tomorrow, actually. It's a really busy time of year for us. Basically, everyone's putting in extra hours.
Excellent!
Excellent? Why?
If you're going to be at work, that means you won't be able to sneak your way into the wedding.
Huh?
Don't tell me you forgot. Tomorrow is Carl's wedding. I know I told you not to come, but I thought for sure you'd try some underhanded way of coming against my wishes. I just wanted to make sure you were still planning to obey my orders.
Yes, Mother dearest, as I told you before, I am not going to the wedding tomorrow. What did you think, I was lying to you about working?
I wouldn't put it past you. You were oddly compliant when I told you not to come to Carl's wedding. I expected you to throw a tantrum like a spoiled little brat, but you simply gave in immediately. You can't blame me for being suspicious.
I'm kind of done fighting with you anymore, Mom. There's no point in it. No matter what I say or do, you'll always look down on me because I dropped out of college. Meanwhile, you've showered Carl with love and affection for as long as I can remember. So yeah, I'm not gonna waste my breath on you anymore. You're free to think of me as you wish.
I don't need your permission to see you for what you are. Now, I'm only going to tell you this one more time, so pay attention. You are not welcome at your brother's wedding tomorrow. Enjoy your menial, unskilled labor.
Tomorrow? What are you talking about? My wedding was yesterday.
What?
So you can stop obsessively telling Mallory not to come to my wedding tomorrow, because my wedding isn't tomorrow, it was yesterday.
The wedding was yesterday? Wait, why are you saying my wedding? This isn't Mallory, is it? Who are you?
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to startle you. It's me, Mom, your pride and joy, Carl. I happened to drop by Mallory's place just now and saw that you were talking by text, so I thought I'd borrow her phone for a moment.
Is it really you, Carl? What are you doing at Mallory's house?
I wanted to thank her for all her hard work in putting together the wedding yesterday. Thanks to her, we had the best wedding we could have possibly asked for, so I came by with a little gift to show my appreciation.
Carl, I don't understand. What do you mean the wedding was yesterday? That's impossible. Your wedding is tomorrow.
Sorry, Mom. The truth is, I need to apologize. I told you the wedding was tomorrow, but that was a lie.
A lie? You lied to me?
I did, Mom. The wedding was yesterday. I thought about it for a long time and decided that I didn't want you at the wedding. So I made a fake invitation just for you with the wrong date on it.
No, that can't be. What are you thinking, Carl? I am your mother. You can't have a wedding without the mother of the groom. Why would you do such a terrible thing to me?
It's simple. I wanted Mallory to come, but you were bound and determined to keep her away. I thought about just ignoring you and inviting her anyway, but I didn't want to have to deal with the chaos that could cause at our wedding. So, I had a choice to make. Have my mother at my wedding or have my sister at my wedding. Couldn't choose both of you, and so I chose Mallory.
That's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you choose me over her? Who was it who raised you,
Mallory did. That's why I invited her and not you.
What?
I know it couldn't have been easy for you being a single mother and all, but even still, you were always so caught up in work and everything else you wanted to do that you never paid any attention to us at all. Anytime you did talk to us, it was typically to complain about the fact that we even existed. You'd be like, if it weren't for you two, my life would be so much easier.
Did I say that?
Yeah, all the time. And whenever you got like that, the only person who was there to cheer me up was Mallory. She always had to take charge of things around the house while you were away at work or the bar. I'd say that Mallory changed more of my diapers than you ever did.
That's not true. I gave you all the love that you could possibly want from a mother. Especially you, Carl. I loved you more than anyone else in the entire world.
Love? That wasn't love. You treated me like some kind of a trophy. Only problem was you didn't earn me.
I don't understand.
You only started bragging to your friends about me after I started doing well in school. I'm pretty sure the first time you ever said the words "I love you" to me was after I got the best score in the class on a test in middle school. After that, you pulled out all the stops to spoil me. Up until then, it was nothing but, why did I have to get stuck with you two brats? And I wish I had never married that jerk and had you two. It was quite the change in attitude, and practically overnight.
I don't think I ever said anything that terrible.
Believe me, you said much worse to us. Then you started bragging about things I hadn't even done yet. You told your friends I got accepted into the private school you made me apply for before I even took the test. Then you told them that I was going to go to med school before I even decided on my undergraduate program. It was all because you wanted to show me off to everyone. To you, I was nothing more than an expensive car or luxury designer handbag.
Carl, how could you think that way about me? All I ever did was believe in your potential. And I was right, wasn't I? Your sister had to drop out of college because she couldn't handle it, but you went all the way.
You think she wanted to drop out of college? She had to. That was around the time you signed me up for the entrance exam at that private high school, right? It was obvious that I wasn't going to be able to pass on my own, so she quit college to take a job as a private tutor. She did that specifically so she could get all the practice materials that only professionals have access to. That's the only reason I was able to get into that school.
Wait, she was a tutor? I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. You never took any interest in her career at all, did you? Do you even know what she's doing right now?
Well, I suppose she's still working as a private tutor?
Meh, wrong. She changed jobs years ago. She's working as a wedding planner now.
She is?
Yeah, she quit working as a tutor as soon as I passed the entrance exam for med school. She said that she wanted to finally do what she had always wanted to do. And it's thanks to her that our wedding yesterday was such a massive success. Me and my wife are always on call, so we never had much of a chance to sit down and plan anything. So she communicated with both of us by text and did most of the planning all by herself. And get this, she wouldn't even take a commission. It was all I could do to get her to accept compensation for the time she spent planning everything for us.
That was quite generous of her.
Generous doesn't begin to describe the kind of person she is. Mallory has always been there for me in middle school, high school, university, and even to this very day. So how could I have a wedding without her?
Well, be that as it may, I am still your mother. There's no justification whatsoever for you to have your wedding without me. That was completely out of line, young man.
You know what else is out of line? The way you talk down on Mallory for dropping out of college when you dropped out of high school.
What?
That's right, Mom. I know all about it. You did your best to hide it, but I know that you dropped out of high school the very day you turned 16.
How?
Grandma told me back when we were kids.
She told you? Why would she do that to me? She had no business telling you.
Don't change the subject, Mom. This is about you and your behavior. So do you have anything to say for yourself?
Carl, Carl, you have to understand.
No, I really don't. You told Mallory she wouldn't fit in at my wedding because she dropped out of college. But unfortunately for you, my actual criteria was a high school diploma or GED. Sorry, Mom, that means you don't qualify.
But...
And that's all I have to say to you, so I'm gonna give Mallory her phone back now. Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear to you. You did this to yourself. You are not gonna give Mallory any crap about me not inviting you to the wedding. That was my decision, and my decision alone.
Carl, wait, please. Please, can't we talk? Not by text. Let's talk on the phone, all right? I'm not angry at you for lying to me about your wedding, honest. All I want to do is talk to you for a little while. Won't you please answer your phone?
I don't feel much like talking to you right now. Actually, I'd prefer if you didn't call or text me for a long time after this.
No!
Goodbye, Mom.
Mallory, I need some more money from you. The money you sent me last month is already gone. From now on, I need you to send me $1,000 on the first day of every month. And don't be late. Are you serious? If you don't like it, then I'll just have to move in with you. Those are your two options, so make your choice. Hold it right there, Mom. What is the matter with you? I'm not sending you any money, and I am definitely not letting you live with me. I don't have any other options, though. Carl won't talk to me anymore. My plan is ruined. Your plan? I was planning on asking Carl and his wife to send me some money every month after they get married. They're both doctors, and her family is incredibly wealthy. They can afford a measly $1,000 a month. But Carl blocked my number before I got the chance to ask him. Wow, that is some plan, living off your son's success. The last time we spoke, he said that if I didn't start treating you better, that he would never speak to me again. He won't even let me meet my grandchildren. Can you believe that? After all that I've done for him, this is how he repays me? Ironic, isn't it? You poured all of your love and affection onto him, and then he ends up cutting off contact with you. I should have known better than to put my faith in him. Men are all the same. Carl abandoned me just like his creep of a father. That's why us girls have to stick together, right, Mallory? You'll never turn your back on me like Carl, right? I don't like where this is going. I'm sorry for being so cold to you all these years, darling, but now I finally see the truth. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so proud to have a hard-working, trustworthy daughter like you. Let's put Carl behind us and live the rest of our lives together in peace and harmony. Sorry, Mom. No can do. I'm leaving the country next month. You are? Yep. Carl's wedding was my magnum opus. There's no way I'll ever top that, so now it's time for me to chase a new dream, becoming a success in another country. I've been going to a language school after work for the last several years. I'm fluent in French, Spanish, Italian, German, and Portuguese. The world is my oyster, and I'm gonna go find me some pearls. You mean you're going to leave me here by myself? You're all I have, Mallory. Then I guess you're out of luck because I've already bought my tickets. Well, when are you coming back? I don't know. I was thinking never, actually. Never? Have a nice life, Mom. Or don't. Either way, it makes no difference to me. Au revoir, adios, ciao, bye-bye. I blocked my mom's number immediately after that last text. Then 1 month later, I boarded my flight and set off for my new life. Carl tells me that Mom is still doing everything possible to get him to talk to her, but he just ignores her every time. She tried going to some of her relatives for support, but they all told her the same thing. You did this to yourself. Her troubles didn't end there, however. Remember how she had a nasty habit of bragging about things Carl hadn't done yet? Well, it turns out she had been telling the neighbors that her rich son and his billionaire wife were going to build a brand new house for her. Needless to say, that hasn't materialized yet. She's so embarrassed about everyone knowing she's a big fat liar that she barely even leaves her house anymore these days.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey there. I hope I got the right number. Is this Stan's older sister? I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Kendra. I'm Stan's fiance. Oh, hi there, Kendra. I'm glad I finally got the chance to talk to you. Yeah, you've got the right number. My name's Stacy. If I recall correctly, you just dropped by my parents' house with your parents to introduce them, didn't you? I'm really sorry I missed that. I wanted to come and meet you and your family, but my company dropped a last-minute trip out of the state on me that I couldn't get out of. Oh yeah, your parents told me all about that. It was really great news. I get it. You're one of those people who like sarcastic jokes, huh? Sorry, that one went over my head. I wasn't joking. Is that a continuation of the joke, or... No, I'm not joking. I'm really glad you weren't there. It's for the best that we don't meet. So you don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay, this is probably the weirdest first conversation I have ever had with a person in my life. Would you mind explaining why you don't want to meet me? Oh, of course. I'm glad you asked. So I have some super deep-seated trauma with men, right? When I was in high school, I went on my first date ever with a boy, and the very next day, he was sitting with my best friend at lunch. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been traumatic for you. So he was never serious about you after all? No, he actually was serious. I found out later that he and my best friend were actually cousins, but I only found that out after I had already dumped him and sent him messages around the school saying he was a boring date and a bad kisser. That event was so traumatic for me that I can't bear to see my romantic partners being friendly with any other women, even family members. You spread false rumors about him over a misunderstanding, but you are the one with deep-seated trauma? Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm glad you understand. Right. Well, you know that me and Stan are brother and sister, right? Are you telling me that you don't even want me to have pleasant conversations with him? Stacy, I am so glad that you understand my trauma so well. I heard from your parents that you and Stan are really close. Is that right? Yeah. I presume that's a problem for you? Yep. A big problem. I can't bear to see Stan being friendlier with other women in his family than he is with me. Uh-huh. Again, Stacy, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you understanding my trauma. So I actually had a request to make of you. I would really appreciate it if you could never see Stan again. And not just in person. You can't text him either. I wasn't too thrilled with compromising this much with him, but I decided to be the bigger person and allow him 10 texts per month with your mom. So if there's ever something you want to tell Stan, you can tell it to your mom and have her contact Stan for you. Oh, and if her 10 texts are already used up, you'll have to go through me. Granted, depending on the content, I may or may not deliver the message to him. You understand, right? Let me see if I have this straight. You want me to never contact my own brother directly? Ever again? Yep, that's right. If I found out you were contacting him, that would really trigger my deep-seated trauma. Right. Look, Kendra, as much as I want to start off our relationship on the right foot, I'm afraid that is not a request that I'll be able to abide by. I understand you have this trauma thing, and I'll do my best to be considerate of you, but restricting which of Stan's family members he can contact? I'm sorry, but that's utterly ridiculous. Stacy, how could you say that to me? I thought you understood my trauma. Are you really going to ignore the deep-seated trauma I have and contact your brother against my wishes? Do you want me to have a panic attack? What if my panic attack causes a heart attack? Are you trying to kill me? What the, kill you? I also have to say that I am very disappointed in the weakness of your sibling relationship with Stan. What? Me wanting the ability to talk to my own brother is a weakness to you? Obviously, if you truly had a strong familial bond, then you wouldn't need to have direct contact with him. Just knowing that he was well taken care of by a fantastic woman who loves him more than anyone else should be enough. But you're disregarding my trauma and threatening my life by meeting with your brother, all because of your own insecurities. You trashed a high school boy's reputation over your misconception, but I'm the one who's insecure? All I'm doing is laying down boundaries. You don't get to determine how and when I contact my own brother just because you're marrying him.
Don't victim shame me. I'm the one setting boundaries to cope with my deep-seated trauma. Stop using that term. You use it every 5 frickin' seconds. I will not give you another warning, Stacy. I am his fiancé and I have deep-seated trauma. You will never meet in person with your brother ever again. And if you want to send him a message, then you must either go through me or your mother. That is final. Stan, we need to talk.
We do?
Yes, and it's about your fiancé. Are you sure you want to marry her? Like, really sure?
Well, I did propose to her. I thought that would make my intentions clear. Can I ask what brings this on? Did something happen between you two? You were really happy for me when I first told you I was getting married.
Yeah, I was, but that was before I actually interacted with her. Kendra just texted me a few minutes ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and what she said was shocking, to say the least.
Well, what did she say?
She told me to never speak to you again. She told me this insane story about her deep-seated trauma, but it didn't make any sense. I mean, she expects me to believe that she was traumatized over an incident from high school in which she ruined a boy's reputation for no reason.
Oh, yeah, she told me about that a while back too.
So you knew? Stan, I understand that this is the woman that you proposed to, but I feel like I need to say this is your sister. She seems like she is genuinely unwell.
I'm really sorry that she said that to you. Also, thank you for your concern. It means a lot that you would trust me enough to be so direct like that. Now, in Kendra's defense, based on my experience with her, I don't think she's unwell. I think she just worries too much sometimes.
You sound like you're not too surprised that she would tell me never to speak to you again.
Well, I guess you can say she's done something like this before. Not to blow my own horn, but I've always had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, ever since you were a kid, you always had a huge circle of friends. You've been bringing them around the house for years now, but I still don't even remember most of their names. Even after you went to college, any free time you weren't studying, you were spending with friends.
Right. That's something that doesn't really sit too well with Kendra.
She doesn't like that you have friends?
It's not that. It's just that she's kind of the opposite type of person. She'd rather just have a few super close people that she knows really well than have a bunch of friends like me. So she can't comprehend my relationship with my friends. You know what I mean? I can't remember how many times she's gotten mad at me for spending a Saturday with my friends instead of her.
Wow, that must have been difficult for you.
Actually, that's the main reason I decided to marry her. Once she's my wife, I'm positive that she'll settle down a bit with the jealousy. I mean, what better way there is to prove my devotion to her than to vow to be there for her for the rest of my life? She won't have a reason to be jealous of my friends or family anymore.
I guess you've put quite a bit of thought into this, Stan. Okay, if that's how strongly you feel about her, then I'll respect your decision. You're right, she'll probably loosen up a little bit after your wedding.
Thanks for understanding, Stacy. So yeah, in the meantime, I wouldn't take anything she says about cutting off contact with me too seriously. I'll have her apologize to you at an appropriate time in the future. Though she shouldn't have said that to you.
Alright, that's fine. You can take your time. I'm in no rush for an apology. You take good care of Kendra then, got it? And try to hold off on making any new friends for a while.
Oh, do I have to? Alright, guess the next time I'll see you will probably be at our wedding, huh? I can't wait for you to meet Kendra in person.
Kendra, what is wrong with you? You came up from behind me and punched me in the back of the head. Oh, you're awake. I'm glad to hear that. How are you feeling? Think I'm feeling? My head frickin' hurts. You punched me so hard that I passed out. They had to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, they took you to the hospital? Yeah, you knocked me unconscious. They want to do a CT scan to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding. But you can cut it with the pleasantries, Kendra. You put me in the hospital. Now explain yourself. I hadn't even been at the wedding for a half hour when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor looking at the ceiling. Why did you do that to me? Don't you remember the last time we spoke? It was my deep-seated trauma. Oh, great, not this again.
I walked into the room and saw a woman I'd never met talking to Stan, and all the memories of my pain and misery in high school came rushing back. I was sure that you were actually Stan's mistress and had come to break up the wedding. All the shame and rage and sorrow welled up inside me, and I started seeing red. My body started moving on autopilot. I grabbed the nearest heavy object and bashed you over the head with it. You don't seem like you regret anything at all. You haven't even said you're sorry. But I didn't do anything wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. I would have never hit you if I knew you were Stan's sister. It was all my trauma's fault. You don't think you did anything wrong? You hit me so hard I lost consciousness. You're not going to evade responsibility for that just because of your supposed trauma. And what the hell? You saw a woman talking to Stan, and the first thing that came to your mind was Stan's having an affair with her? First of all, it is not supposed trauma. It is real trauma. I will not allow you to deny my lived experiences. Second, you knew about my deep-seated trauma, and still you violated the boundaries that I set for you. How could you be so insensitive? I believe that I deserve an apology for your flagrant disregard for my emotional well-being and safety. This is completely insane. Insane? That's ableist language. Screw you. You could have actually killed me just now. What was it that you hit me with anyway? A rock or something? No, just an empty vase. Oh, excuse me, it was just an empty vase. You expect me to apologize for violating your psychotic boundaries, but you don't think you need to apologize for a literal assault? Not a chance. I am the one who deserves an apology here, not you. What? How dare you? I went through the emotional labor of confiding in you about my lived experiences and deep-seated trauma, and you're still victim-shaming me? Are you intentionally fitting as many psychobabble nonsense words into your sentences as grammatically possible? You knew it was traumatic for me to see Stan talking to other women. I clearly laid down my boundaries for you, and you violated them on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Therefore, it is only right that you apologize to me and promise that you will never violate my boundaries again. I swear, it's like your only source of vocabulary is the chapter on trauma of a psychology textbook written by a teacher's aide. How can you possibly be playing the victim right now? Because I am the victim. Wow. You know, Kendra, when you first texted me, I thought you were a complete psycho. But now, I don't think I went far enough. You are far worse than just a run-of-the-mill psycho. You need to be locked up in an institution. That is more than enough ableist language out of you, Stacy. There is no room in my life or Stan's life for such a bigoted person as you are. I am marrying your brother today, and you will never see him again.
I wouldn't be so sure of that if I were you.
Huh?
Kendra, do you honestly believe that you haven't done anything wrong? I've taken the liberty of reading the conversation that you and Stacy just had. And to be quite honest, that really is how you feel, then I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I'm sorry, Kendra, but this wedding is canceled.
What? Wait a minute. Stacy? Or... oh no. Stan, is that you?
Looks like you finally caught on. Didn't you notice that he disappeared from the wedding chapel the moment that Stacy got taken away in the ambulance? That's because I went to the hospital with her. The wedding is canceled and our relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. So no, you will not be marrying me today, or any other day.
Stan, no, you can't do this to me. You said you were gonna marry me. You said you didn't want me to have to worry about losing you anymore. You said that I was the most important person in the world to you. So how could you cancel our wedding and break up with me? Was that all just a lie?
No, Kendra, I meant every single word I ever said to you. I proposed to you because I loved you. I accepted your past, your jealousy, your controlling nature, all of that. Because I thought I could help you heal the damage that your past has done to you. I thought if I could show you that you didn't need to worry about losing me, that you could overcome your trauma and start looking towards the future rather than the past. I believed that right up until this very morning. Not only have my dedicated displays of love to you not helped heal your trauma, it almost feels like you've gotten worse. Kendra, you assaulted my sister. You hit her in the back of the head with a vase.
But I thought she was your mistress. What did you expect me to do?
That's it right there. That's exactly my point. You trust me so little that you immediately assumed that I was cheating on you. I can't marry anyone who doesn't trust me.
Stan!
I've done everything you ever asked me to do, Kendra. I erased all my female friends from college from my phone for you. I never went to any party or gathering where other women were present. I loved you and wanted to spend my life with you, so I was willing to make sacrifices for you. And after all of that, you go and assault my sister?
But Stan, it was all a simple misunderstanding. I didn't mean to hit your sister.
So you admit that you generally thought I was cheating on you?
Yeah, but just for a second.
Even 1 second is too long, don't you get that? You have no idea how much it hurts to know that the woman I pledged my love to doesn't even trust me.
That's not true. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, oh, you're such an amazing guy. You're handsome, funny, hardworking. I always felt that you were out of my league. I was terrified of losing you.
And so you bashed my sister over the head with a vase? I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you, Kendra. You've gone too far. Your trauma has completely taken over you. So much so that you were willing to assault a person you didn't know within a few seconds of seeing them for the first time. I had no idea you're such a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. That's not fair. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Don't talk about me like I'm always going around and hitting random people wherever I go.
First time? Huh, that's a lie. You're not just controlling and violent. You're a liar too.
What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
When I got to the hospital with Stacy, I just so happened to see a friend of mine who I invited to the wedding. He told me he was walking downtown this morning when all of a sudden, someone came up from behind him and pushed him down the stairs. That was you, wasn't it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why would I do a thing like that?
He also told me that he had been receiving a ton of texts from you lately. Multiple times a day, telling him to stay away from me. But right after he got taken to the hospital, the text stopped. He was so terrified that he hadn't even spoken to the police about it yet. He thought for sure you would either go after him again or take it out on me.
I can explain.
Don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Just like with Stacy, you're lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt, and that it doesn't appear that there'll be any lasting impacts to his health. Are you going to stand there and say you did all that for me? Even if that's true, I don't want any part of your psychosis. I mean it, Kendra, we're through.
Stan, please, can't we talk about this?
The only thing we're going to talk about from here on out is how you're going to be held responsible for what you did to Stacy and my friend.
What do you mean? What are you going to do to me?
I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. You've only ever been on my good side up until now, so you may not realize this. But while I pride myself in being generous and forgiving to my family and friends, I show absolutely no mercy to anyone else who crosses me.
Stan, do not do this. I'll apologize for everything, okay? I'll go to Stacy and your friend's hospital rooms and I'll tell them I'm sorry. So please don't break up with me. I'm sorry I let my trauma get the best of me. If you could just work with me a little longer, I'm sure I'll overcome it in no time.
Again with the trauma nonsense. Are you ever going to give that up? Anyway, I've already compromised more than I should here for your sake. I'm not doing it anymore. You can sort out your trauma issues on your own now.
Stacy, what am I gonna do? Stan says he's gonna break up with me. He hasn't been back to our apartment since yesterday, and he just sent his lawyer over with a demand that I move out within 24 hours. I don't want to break up with him. I don't want to move out. Please, Stacy, you have to help me.
In case you've forgotten, I am currently in a hospital bed recovering from the injuries that I sustained when you assaulted me. I had to get 3 stitches in the back of my head, which may not seem like a lot, but they are really, really uncomfortable. That's in addition to the splitting headache I still have. So if you want help moving out, you're gonna have to ask someone else.
That's not what I meant. I want you to talk to Stan and tell him not to break up with me. I love Stan. I need him.
Well, he doesn't love or need you, so I don't know what you want me to do about it. You put 2 people in the hospital on the day of your wedding. Do you really think Stan would stay with you after that? And that's not even considering the fact that you've been cheating on him.
What? He told you about that?
He sure did. After you assaulted us yesterday, he went to find all the evidence he could of your harassment campaigns towards me and his friends. He found all the evidence he needed of that, but also a few other pieces of evidence.
Seems like every time I think my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower, you go and prove me wrong. Stop victim shaming me! It's not my fault I had to cheat on him. Oh, for the love of God, Kendra, don't tell me this is because of your trauma, too. He never respected any of my boundaries. I told him not to see his friends anymore, and he told me that he was fine with that, but then what did I find out? He was still seeing them in secret at least once a month. He crushed my heart and ripped open the wounds left by that boy in high school. I lost control. I felt so violated and abused, I had no choice but to cause him some of the same trauma that he caused me. So every time he went out with me and his friends, I went out with another man. He did this to me. It's all his fault. That boy didn't cause you any trauma, Kendra. What you're actually feeling is shame. Stop victim shaming me. He was the victim, you idiot, not you. All he did was talk to his cousin, and you ruined his reputation because of it. Then, when you realized the truth, you were overcome with shame over the viciously evil thing you did to him. That's why you invented your trauma narrative. To shut out your feelings of shame over realizing that you're just an impulsive, jealous, vindictive, and stupid woman. No, you're wrong. It was his fault for not telling me that my best friend was his cousin, just like it's Stan's fault for not telling me you were his sister. It was Stan's friend's fault for not respecting the boundaries I set for him. That's another thing. You don't just get to use the word boundaries to make other people do whatever you want. Look, I understand that maybe I went a teensy bit overboard, but it's all because I love Stan so much. I don't want to lose him. So please, I am begging you, give me another chance. We can call your family and Stan's friends together and have a discussion on what new boundaries we can set for you guys. Boundaries that we all agree on. You still don't feel like you've done anything wrong, do you? I realize that some people who are less understanding of the trauma I've been through may view my actions as inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, that settles it. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You go through all these mental gymnastics to interpret what happens in a way that removes any responsibility from yourself. Well, I'd say it's high time someone forced you to take some responsibility. And it looks like that responsibility falls to me. You may not think that you've done anything wrong, but I'd bet a year's worth of my salary that a judge and jury will have a different view of things. What are you saying? Are you gonna sue me? Did Stan ever tell you what it was I do for a living? No. I'm a lawyer. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Do you have any idea how much money I'm losing every day I'm stuck here in this godforsaken hospital? You're going to compensate me for my lost wages and much more. I've also decided to take up Stan's friend's case against you as well, pro bono. Please don't do that, Stacy. I'm already on the hook for a ton of money from the canceled wedding. If you sue me on top of that, I'll be ruined. Yeah? And how is that my problem? You don't seem to be aware of what sort of position you're in right now. You have successfully driven away the only person in this entire world who would have had pity on you, so don't expect any from me. We'll talk more once I'm out of the hospital. I suggest you start figuring out how to come up with a lot of money very soon. The first thing I did after getting out of the hospital was putting together a police report for both myself and Stan's friend. She was granted a speedy trial and found guilty on all counts. My next order of business was suing her for the costs of the wedding, hospital bills, and lost wages, which added up to around $50,000 in total. She went to her parents and begged them for help, so they agreed to loan her what she needed. Paying that back, however, is not going to be easy for a woman with a criminal record like her. I hope she takes this opportunity to learn that her trauma card isn't going to get her very far in this world.
Hey there, Kayla. Look, I wanted to say that I am sorry about what happened earlier today, but you have to look at things from my perspective. I had no idea that you were that old. I was so shocked when I found out that you were Carter's mom that, well, I guess I kinda said something that maybe I shouldn't have.
If you think you were shocked, I'd like you to take a moment and consider how I felt. My son Carter brought you, his fiancée, over to my house so he could finally introduce the two of us. And when you walk in the door, what was the very first thing you said when you laid eyes on me? Well, do you remember, Miley? You shouted, quote, "Who the hell is that old woman in your living room, Carter?" I have never, in all my years, had someone speak in such a disrespectful manner to me. Not to mention, I have never allowed Carter to use profanity in my house, so your choice of verbiage was quite shocking as well.
Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have let that slip out. Ordinarily, my mental filter keeps my more honest thoughts locked up in my head. And, I mean, in my defense, when I first saw you, I thought that you looked like you were around the same age as my grandma.
Is that right? I suppose I can't blame you too much for that. After all, I was 40 years old when I gave birth to Carter. It's not all that uncommon for women my age to have grandchildren already.
Whoa, hold on. Am I reading this correctly? You were 40 years old when Carter was born? Are you serious?
I'm not sure why you think I would joke around about the topic, but yes, I am serious.
Boy, you know what? Now that you mention it, that does explain a lot. I always thought that Carter was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me? I'm afraid I don't know what you're saying. Perhaps you'd be generous enough to clarify your meaning for me?
Do I really need to spell it out for you? I thought it was common knowledge. The older a woman is, the greater the risk becomes that her kids are going to end up being defective in one way or another, right? I've thought for a long time now that there's something, I don't know, call it mysterious, I guess, about Carter. Like I said, he always seemed different. Now that I know how old you were when he was born, everything makes sense. He's got some kind of a disability due to being born to such an old woman.
Miley, how could you talk about Carter that way? That man is your fiancé. He asked you to be his wife. He wants to spend the rest of his life with you. And you're going to accuse him of having a disability?
Don't get me wrong, it's not really a bad thing. Carter is a really great guy. He's super nice to me. And not just me, he's super nice to everyone around him. But that's the thing that seems so weird about him. It's like, being a guy is one thing, but Carter is way beyond the level of just being a nice guy. He's too nice. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him get mad at anyone or about anything. I was worried, like, does he have some kind of emotional problems? Does he have cancer or something in the part of the brain where anger comes from? But now I know that you were crazy old when he was born. I can be pretty sure that it's not cancer. He just has a really old mom. Having an old mom means he's bound to have some sort of defect. And if not being angry is his defect, I guess there's worse problems he could have.
I do not believe the way that you're speaking about Carter right now, Miley. Have you no shame? Do you not realize just how hideously cruel the things you're saying are?
No, not really. I mean, what's the issue? I'm just calling it like I see it.
The issue is that you're talking about my son as though he's a defective piece of merchandise. He is not an object for you to evaluate. He is a human being. He is the man who asked you to be his wife as well as my son. You think his kind and sweet nature is a defect? That's not a defect, that's simply him being a good person. Not only that, but you're blaming his supposed defect on my age at the time he was born? Today has been nothing but a string of horrible insults from you towards both my son and myself.
Good grief, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. What are you getting so angry at me for? I just identified the fact that he has a defect. I'm not saying I'm going to return him to the manufacturer. I still love him just as much. I accept Carter for who he is, and that includes all his defects. Aren't I something else? I doubt there are very many other women out there who would be as willing as me to take a defective man as my husband. You should be grateful that I agreed to marry him.
That does it. I always told myself that I would do my best to accept the woman that my son chose as his wife, whether I agreed with his choice or not. It's his life, not mine. He has a right to have his choices respected. However, your heartless words and careless attitude today are simply too much for me to bear.
Seriously? What's your problem, Kayla? Didn't you see that I'm still gonna marry him despite him being the defective product of an old woman? Oh, I think I know what this is. Your one and only son is getting married and you're jealous that he's gonna give another woman more attention than you.
Jealousy? Is that what you think this is?
Okay, so I'm gonna go now and let you deal with your jealousy issues by yourself. Thanks for lunch today. It was mediocre. The next time you have me over, I'd appreciate it if you could put a little more effort into the food, okay? And if that's too much for you, I wouldn't object to you ordering delivery. Bye-bye, mommy dearest.
Good evening, Carter. Do you have a moment? There's something important that I'd like to talk to you about.
Hey, Mom, what's up? Oh, is this about the wedding venue information packets I sent to you? Sorry, it must have been a pretty big package. Did you get a chance to look through them? Which one did you like?
I'm sorry, Carter, but this isn't about the wedding venue. It's a much more important issue than that. I'd like to talk about your marriage.
My marriage? I'm not really sure what you mean. But from the way you're talking, it sounds like it's a pretty heavy issue.
As your mother, I feel that you deserve to have my full support for your marriage, and that's why I've been holding back on saying some things to you. But I've given it some thought lately, and I just can't hide these feelings anymore. In the same way you deserve my support, you also deserve my honesty. I feel it would be for the best for you to reconsider getting married to Miley.
What? Holy cow, Mom! That is a massive bomb to drop on me right now. Okay, well, can you tell me why you're asking me to break up with my fiancé?
Do you remember the time, roughly a month ago, when you brought Miley to the house to introduce her to me? You know, when she was startled and called me an old woman?
Ah, yeah, I do remember that. I'm really sorry that Miley said something so insensitive to you, Mom. But it's partially my fault. I never told her that you were in your 40s when you had me. That was my bad for not preparing her. I had to talk with her about your attitude later on that day. I was firm in telling her never to speak to you like that again.
You did? Well, I appreciate that, but I'm afraid it didn't work. She's continued to treat me exactly the same way ever since. Not only that, she's being outrageously disrespectful regarding my age when you were born.
Really? How so?
The same day you brought her by the house, she and I had a lengthy text conversation. She treated me like I was some sort of a fool for having a child at 40. And not only that, you were the subject of her insults, too. She told me that she thought you were, in her words, defective due to being born to such an old woman.
No way.
She said that she had always found your kind nature to be weird. Apparently she feels that your lack of anger is a defect. Ever since that day, I've been holding back on telling you about it. I thought that it wasn't my place to say something to make you question your decision to marry her, but I just couldn't hold it back anymore. It was one thing for her to belittle me, but another thing entirely for her to speak about you like she did.
Wow, I had no idea. Thank you for being honest with me, Mom. I know it must have been difficult for you to breach that topic with me. Now that you mention it, I thought that she's been acting different around me than she did before. Now that I know what the two of you have been talking about, I think I understand what's going on.
Oh, would you mind telling me more?
You said she was using the word defect, right? That actually made me remember a bizarre conversation we had a few weeks ago. One day, she suddenly came up to me and threw a massive stack of papers on my lap. I asked her what it was, and she said she went to the OBGYN and got tested, and everything came up clean. I thought that was reassuring, but she had this weird, almost defiant look on her face. The next thing she said was, "This means that if we have a defective kid, it's your fault."
Goodness gracious. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but after the conversations we've had, I'm afraid nothing is shocking anymore. I could understand if she simply took those tests to reassure you before your marriage, but how could she even think about saying such a thing to you? I told her this same thing when we were talking a month ago, but she's treating you like you're defective merchandise. Not only that, the only reason she's acting this way is because I was 40 when I gave birth to you.
Yeah, I wasn't very thrilled when she said that to me. Even less now that I know why. To be honest, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Won't you reconsider, Carter? Do you really want to marry a girl like her? It would be wise for you to take some time to think about this.
Sorry, Mom. But I've already thought about this enough. My decision stands. I love Miley and I want to marry her.
Carter...
Like I said, I should have told her about the circumstances of my birth. It's only natural for her to react this way after finding out so late in the game. That's on me and me alone. I'm sorry that my irresponsibility resulted in your feelings getting hurt, Mom.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Carter.
We've already met each other's families. The wedding has already been planned and we've sent out an invitation. It's too late for me to turn back now. Now, that's not to say I'm excusing the way Miley has been acting towards us. It looks like the talk we had earlier wasn't enough. I'm gonna sit down with her again one of these days and have another conversation. I'll see to it that she stops, so please, won't you accept our relationship?
It seems that you truly do care about her. All right, Carter, if that's your decision, then I'll respect it. I'm sorry for bringing the topic up to you. It wasn't my place to question your choice of a wife. I'll be praying that the two of you can go on to become as happy of a couple as you deserve.
Thank you, Mom. I don't feel bad. I'm glad that you care enough about me to be honest. I'm sure that we'll have all this cleared up by the wedding. There'll be nothing in the way of celebrating the beginning of our new life together.
I certainly hope so. I'm very excited for your wedding, Carter. I'll let you go now. See you soon, dear.
Kayla? Where in the world are you right now? Aren't you coming?
Coming to what, may I ask?
You actually forgot? No way. Today's our wedding, Kayla.
Wait, your wedding was today?
Oh my God, you really did forget. I should have known you would forget. You're clearly going through the early stages of dementia. There's no other way you would possibly forget something as important as your own son's wedding.
I do not have dementia, you impudent girl.
That's exactly what someone with dementia would say. Oh boy, this is gonna mean a lot of trouble for us now. Am I really gonna have to deal with your dementia from the very day of our wedding? I thought we had a few months left before you started going senile.
Enough of this nonsense. What's this about your wedding being today? That's impossible, though. I'm holding the invitation you sent me in my hand right now. The date on this card is for next week, not today.
Yeah, and so what? That doesn't change anything. Our real wedding date is today, and you, the mother of the groom, are not in attendance, just as I planned.
I don't believe this. You did this on purpose? You wanted me to miss the wedding, so you sent me this fake wedding invitation? Oh, how could you do this to me? Just wait until I tell the family about this.
Don't waste your time. Nothing you tell them is gonna do you any good once I'm through with them. After all, you're freaking ancient. All I have to do is go around to all my relatives and yours and tell them that I called you, but you didn't take your dementia pills yesterday. Then when you woke up this morning, your brain was in such a fog that you completely forgot about the wedding. So you can try and tell them that your mean old daughter-in-law tricked you with a fake invitation, but no one is gonna believe you.
They'll never believe you.
Yeah, they will. And so will your precious little son. If his mother is in such an advanced stage of dementia that she forgot about our wedding, it'll be a piece of cake to get him to throw you in a nursing home ASAP. Well, Kayla, what do you think? Was this not the most perfect plan you've ever seen?
Miley, I don't understand. Why would you do this to me? What's in it for you? I have no clue what benefit you would possibly gain from causing me to miss your wedding.
Isn't it obvious? I just want to be able to enjoy my newlywed life without any unwanted interruptions.
Interruptions?
You know, sudden visits from my in-laws, unwanted dinner invitations, boring family celebrations. I hate that sort of thing. I knew I'd have to get rid of you right away, or else I'd be doomed to a life of living under the thumb of my obnoxious mother-in-law. So I made you that fake invitation. Now all that's left is for me to convince the family that you're senile and no one will put up any resistance at all to institutionalizing you. And once I've locked you away in some old folks' home halfway across the state, we'll be able to have that beautiful house of yours all to ourselves.
All this time, I thought your maliciousness was limited to simple insensitivity. But now I find out that you've been planning to have me locked up so you could take my house? I underestimated you, Miley. You are pure evil.
You can think whatever you want of me, Kayla. Actually, it would be great if you could go around complaining about your evil daughter-in-law's conspiracy against you. That will convince them that you're senile for sure. Oh dear, would you look at the time? The wedding is going to start in a half hour, but you live a 3-hour drive away from the venue. I guess you'll never be able to make it in time now, huh?
No, that's why you selected that venue? It was all a part of your plan? I thought it was odd that you picked one so far away when there are nicer ones closer to the city.
I couldn't afford to leave anything to chance. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I need to go to the other guests and explain why the family matriarch will not be joining us this fine day.
While you're at it, tell them that Carter won't be coming either.
What? What do you mean?
I mean that my son Carter is here at my house with me right now. So do me a favor and tell them that neither the family matriarch nor the groom will be in attendance today.
But why?
Because the wedding is canceled. Your engagement to my son is canceled as well.
You're lying. There's no way Carter's there with you. You're the only one I sent a fake invitation to. Carter knows that the wedding is today.
You are absolutely right, Miley. Carter does know that the wedding is today. I know that because he's the one who told me the true date of the wedding.
Wait, he told you the real wedding date? Oh no. You mean you knew? You knew that the invitation I sent you was fake?
Indeed I did.
No, why would he do that?
The truth is, I've been having some discussions regarding you and your behavior with a friend of mine for some time now. She was shocked by the utter contempt you have for me, as anyone with a healthy moral consciousness would. One day she said to me, "That Miley seems like she hates your guts, Kayla. Are you sure she even wants you to come to the wedding?" That's when it hit me. No, you obviously don't want me coming. And given your behavior thus far, I was sure you wouldn't hesitate to use any dirty, underhanded tactics to keep me away. So, on a whim, I showed Carter the invitation I received to make sure everything was right.
I can't believe it. I thought my plan was foolproof.
It seems like you underestimated just how much of a fool you really are.
Oh, this can't be happening. But what's up with Carter then? If he knows that the wedding is today, why isn't he here?
Weren't you paying any attention to what my mom was telling you? I'm not coming because I don't want to.
Huh? Wait, Carter, is that you? What are you doing over there with your mom? Our wedding is about to start.
No, it's not, you idiot. It's canceled. The wedding is off.
What?
I have never been more disappointed in my entire life, Miley. I told you time after time to stop mocking my mom about her age. But not only didn't you heed my warnings, you gave her a fake invitation to make sure she missed the wedding. I didn't confront you right away when I found out, though. Do you know why that is?
Because you love me?
I'd say the past tense would be more appropriate, but yes. I loved you and trusted you. I was sure that you would apologize to my mom and correct your mistake. But you didn't. That's why I'm here with my mom.
But you told me you were here. You said you headed to the venue early to get ready, and just a while ago you said you were putting on your tuxedo. What is going on?
Isn't it obvious? I was lying. This makes us even, I'd say. You lied to my mom about the date, and I lied to you about being there.
How can you be joking around at a time like this? Our wedding is starting in just a few minutes. How can we have a wedding if the groom isn't here?
Good question. Here's another one. How can you have a wedding if the mother of the groom isn't there? And for the last time, wake up already. The wedding is off. I'm breaking up with you.
No!
What's the matter? I thought you'd be happier this way. Now you don't have to live the rest of your life with a defective husband and his mold mother. I mean, wouldn't you be afraid of having a kid just as defective as I am?
Carter.
Oh, and one more thing. You're wrong about me. I most certainly do have the ability to get angry. I'm the angriest right now that I've ever been. And how can you blame me? The woman I was set to pledge my eternal love to clearly despises me and my mother.
Carter, I'm so sorry. It's just, I don't know anyone else like you. I mean, having a baby at 40? That's just crazy. I was shocked. I didn't know how to handle it. It's not that I despise you or your mom.
You were shocked, huh? So shocked that you made a fake invitation just to make my mom miss our wedding? so shocked that you cooked up a scheme to convince her family that she was senile? Is that what you do when you're shocked?
I can explain.
You don't need to explain. I know your type. You're not the first person to mock my mom for her age. Back when I was in elementary school, all the other kids already told me my mom was really my grandma, and that my real mom was dead. Do you have any idea how much that hurt me? But my mom never let it get to her. She raised me with all the love and care that a mother can possibly give.
Carter, I am so sorry. I've done something absolutely terrible to you. I'm willing to do whatever you want to make amends. I mean it.
Is that so? You'll do anything I want?
Yes, you name it.
Okay. Never speak to me again.
Carter, please.
Go right now and tell the venue staff that the wedding is off. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to talk to a lawyer.
Kayla, I don't know what to do. Carter's never been this angry at me before. Nothing I say to him is working. He still wants to break up with me.
You shouldn't have mistaken Carter's kindness for weakness. Just because he's a gentle soul doesn't mean he's a pushover.
I tried going to everyone else, my friends, even my parents. But they all keep telling me that I'm only getting what I deserve.
And they're exactly right.
Look, I don't blame you for being angry at me, but please, can't you do something to get Carter to forgive me? I love him.
Do you know what love is, Miley? Love means to will the good of the other. So if you love Carter, you'll want what's best for him. And what's best for him is to break up with you. But what? Carter says he wants to break up with you. If you really love him, you'll give him what he wants.
You're making a big mistake.
I am?
Well, you're old. If you don't help me get back together with Carter, you might never live to see him get married, much less have grandchildren. Don't you want to be able to see your own grandchildren before the dementia takes over and you can't even remember your own son's name? And who's going to take care of you when you get too old to take care of yourself, if not me?
I would rather Carter drop me off in the middle of the woods on a winter night than leave me in your care. Besides, I'm as healthy as a horse. I've still got decades of life ahead of me.
At your age?
Yes, at my age, I've lived a healthier life than nearly everyone you know, I'd wager. I eat only organic food, nothing processed, and I make all my cooking from scratch. I also lift weights 3 times a week and run a mile every morning.
What are you, some kind of superwoman?
I'll tell you what, Miley, how about we make a little wager? If you can beat me in a 100-yard sprint, I'll encourage Carter to take you back. If I beat you, you'll leave town and never return. Well, what do you say?
I'll pass.
That's what I thought. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm running late for my appointment with my personal trainer. Good luck dealing with Carter's lawyer, Miley. The reason Carter consulted with a lawyer was to find a way to force Miley to pay for the wedding cancellation fees. The settlement they reached was that in exchange for Carter not suing her for harassing me, that she would be held responsible for the full cost of the wedding. Her parents refused to help her at all, so she'll have to come up with the full amount by herself. As for Carter, I'm not at all concerned about him finding love. With his impeccable personality and the good looks he inherited from his father, I'm sure he'll find a proper wife for himself in no time. As a matter of fact, one of my friends heard about his breakup through the grapevine and asked me to introduce her daughter to him. Looks like I may not have to wait too long to meet my grandchildren after all.
Hey, what's going on?
What do you mean?
Is it true that you have triplets? Did you really give birth to them?
Huh? Of course, I gave birth to them myself. What about it?
How can you have children?
What kind of question is that? I'm perfectly capable of having children.
We tried for 5 years and couldn't have any kids.
And?
That's why I divorced you and I kicked you out.
You didn't kick me out. We divorced mutually.
You were supposed to be defective.
Excuse me? Defective?
This doesn't make sense, does it?
The only thing that doesn't make sense is you.
What do you mean?
This proves that you were the cause of the infertility, doesn't it?
That's impossible.
Oh, but maybe it's too early to say that definitively.
Of course it is! There's no way I'm the problem!
We haven't done any clear test after all.
Exactly! So don't jump to conclusions.
But the fact that I was actually able to have children and even gave birth to triplets means that, by process of elimination, the problem is likely with you.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm stating facts.
There's no way I could be the problem.
And why is that?
I'm in perfect health and have never been sick.
Being healthy doesn't necessarily mean you're fertile.
Of course it does.
You said the same thing back then and refused to get tested, didn't you?
Because it wasn't necessary.
No matter how many times I asked, you absolutely wouldn't do it.
Because I knew I wasn't the problem.
But now that it's come to this, why don't you get tested just in case?
Can't do something so humiliating.
It's not humiliating, it's responsible.
A man going to a gynecologist?
It's called an andrologist when it's for men.
Paying a lot of money for tests.
Your health and your marriage are worth it, aren't they?
We had to endure humiliating days because of you two.
What are you talking about?
Being called a defective man and all sorts of horrible things that hurt me.
I never called you defective. You called me that.
Shut up!
You're the one who brought this up.
Don't get cocky just because you had kids before us.
I'm not being cocky. I'm trying to help you understand the situation.
If I really try, I can have kids right away.
It doesn't work like that.
Emily's in her 20s, much younger than you.
Age isn't always the determining factor.
I'm like an old hag. Young girls will get pregnant easily.
That's a very simplistic view of fertility.
Just watch.
Watch what?
I'll announce her pregnancy soon.
Jack, please be reasonable about this.
What should I do?
About what?
The test results show that I'm the cause of the infertility.
Huh? You actually got tested?
Yes.
Even though you were so against it before.
I just did it to kill time.
Sure you did.
Work wasn't busy, so I had some free time.
And?
I took the test and it turns out that it's my fault.
I see. How do you feel about that?
They said my body's almost incapable of conceiving.
Oh my.
Even with fertility treatment, the chances are very low.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What should I do?
Well, first you need to accept the reality of the situation.
Never expected results like this.
Most people don't. But now that you know, you need to take action.
What kind of action?
Well, you should hurry and tell Emily.
I can't do that.
You have to, and your parents too.
It's impossible.
Why is it impossible?
There's no way I can say something like that.
But you have to. They need to know the truth.
My parents will be so disappointed.
They might be at first, but they're your parents. They'll understand.
I'm their only son and I can't have children.
There are other options, like adoption or advanced fertility treatments.
They were looking forward to having grandchildren so much.
I know, but hiding the truth won't help anyone.
But I can't keep hiding it, can I?
No, you can't. It will only make things worse.
Emily's already being pressured by your parents to get pregnant soon.
Exactly. That's why you need to tell them.
She's being blamed and bullied for your issues, and it's affecting her mental health.
That's terrible. You need to stand up for her. That's why I'm telling you to come clean.
But I still can't say it.
Why not? It's the right thing to do.
Besides, it's already too late for so many reasons.
Huh? What do you mean it's too late?
Well, my parents really want grandchildren soon.
I know, but that doesn't change the facts.
They're super harsh with Emily. They won't stop asking why she's not pregnant despite being so young.
All the more reason to tell them the truth.
We've been forced to start fertility treatments.
What?
They told her to focus on getting pregnant instead of having fun, and even took away her smartphone.
That's horrible! How could you let that happen?
They're using Emily's money to buy expensive fertility supplements without her permission.
That's financial abuse.
They're treating her almost like a housekeeper, saying she's not a real wife until she gets pregnant.
That's even worse than what happened to me.
I know.
Your wife is going through such a terrible time, and you're not helping her?
But I thought it was her fault for not getting pregnant.
And now you know it's not, so you need to help her.
I never thought the problem would be with me.
Well, now you know. So what are you going to do about it?
This can't be happening.
But it is happening. You need to face it.
I can't possibly tell him that I'm the cause in this situation. I can't!
You have to. It's your responsibility.
God damn it to hell! What should I do?
I've already told you what to do. Tell the truth.
But...
No buts, just do it.
I can't!
I don't care anymore.
What?
Just hurry up and tell everyone the truth.
But my reputation.
Your reputation isn't worth your wife's suffering.
Nothing good will come from hiding this, will it?
Exactly. So stop hiding.
As a man, I should have the courage to say it, shouldn't I?
That's right. Be a man and take responsibility.
This is the worst. Seriously.
What happened?
I thought I was the problem for not getting pregnant, so I endured all the crap they threw at me.
Oh no.
I put up with all the bullying and financial abuse.
I'm so sorry you went through that.
But it turns out Jack was the cause of the infertility all along.
Oh my, so you finally told everyone?
Huh? The reaction.
What about it?
Did you already know, sis?
I only found out recently.
How?
He couldn't accept the results and contacted me in a desperate panic.
So, he's been hiding this from me for a while?
Yes, it seems so.
I was starting to think better of him because he suddenly started helping me.
I see. What changed?
But today, while I was cleaning his room, I found the test results.
Ah, so that's how you found out.
I confronted him and he finally confessed.
Oh, so he didn't reveal it on his own?
No, he didn't. Can you believe it?
What a pathetic man, as always.
To think he knew he was the cause and still blamed me for the infertility.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry, Emily.
This is the worst.
I understand you're upset. What are you going to do?
I'm divorcing him.
Already? Are you sure?
I can't take the stressful life in the city anymore.
Huh? You're breaking up already?
Yes, I am. Why do you sound surprised?
Even though you finally found your ideal man who ticked all your boxes?
Well, he sure as hell doesn't tick them anymore. He's the worst.
I see. I get that. It must really be tough for you.
It is. I'll divorce him and get a big settlement like you did, sis.
About that.
What? Don't tell me I can't get a good settlement.
I'm sorry, but that might be difficult.
Why? Sis, you got a lot, didn't you?
Well, yes, but our situations are different.
How so? You got enough from the asset distribution to buy an apartment, right?
Yes, but there's something you need to understand about asset distribution.
What's that?
It's calculated based on the amount you both earned during the marriage.
Oh?
I was married for 5 years, but you've been married for less than a year.
But that's not fair! I've suffered so much!
I know, and I'm sorry. You can claim compensation for emotional distress, but I hear it's quite difficult to get more than the standard amount.
I've been hurt so much, and I can only get a paltry sum of money for it? That's unacceptable.
I understand you're frustrated, but that's often how these things work legally.
In that case, I'll have to use other methods.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not the type who pays people back tenfold when I'm wrong, and I am not letting this slide.
Emily, please don't do anything rash.
Too late, sis. I've already taken action.
What did you do?
You'll see soon enough. Everyone will.
Emily, what have you done?
Help me, Sarah.
Huh? What's going on now?
Everything's a mess now.
What happened? Did you get into a physical fight over the divorce or something?
I wish it was just a fight.
What do you mean?
That woman, she plastered my diagnosis results all over town.
What? Emily did that?
She even sent tons of emails to my company.
Oh no.
And she included videos and photos of her being abused along with it.
This is getting out of hand.
I can't go to work anymore.
My, she's causing even more trouble than I imagined.
My parents were rushed to the hospital when they found out about my infertility being public knowledge.
That's terrible. Are they okay?
At the hospital, everyone's giving me weird looks and jeering at me. God, this is horrible.
I'm sorry you're going through this, but
I'm desperately trying to convince everyone that this is all a crazy fabrication on my wife's part.
Jack, it's not a fabrication. It's the truth, isn't it?
But I can't admit to it now. It's too humiliating.
Just give up and tell everyone everything.
If I do that, my position and reputation will be ruined.
Your reputation is already in tatters. The truth might actually help at this point.
That's why I absolutely need to make everyone believe this is all fabricated. Yep, it's all nothing but a big, stinky, pathetic lie.
That's not going to work, Jack.
You need to help me too, Sarah.
Help you how?
Give me one of your children right now.
What? What are you talking about now?
You have triplets, so one less won't matter, right?
Are you out of your mind?
If I have a child, the rumors about my infertility will disappear.
That's not how it works.
We can also dispel the abuse rumors by showing everyone my doting father's side. 2 birds with 1 stone. Boom!
This is insane. You can't be serious.
Just need a child right now.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm desperate.
There's no way I'd give my precious child to you.
Shut up!
No, you shut up and listen to reason.
This all happened because of your sister.
No, this happened because of your lies and mistreatment.
So you need to take responsibility too.
I don't need to take responsibility for your actions.
It must be tough for an old hag over 30 to raise triplets.
Don't you dare call me an old hag.
Your children's burden will decrease, and I'll get my long-awaited child. Everyone's happy.
My children are not bargaining chips.
It should be a win-win situation for both of us.
There's nothing win-win about this situation.
Come on, just give me 1 kid.
What do you take me for?
What?
My husband and I will raise all our children properly.
But
Besides, you don't deserve to have children.
how dare you?
A scumbag like you shouldn't reproduce.
What did you say?
You heard me. You've always been a selfish man who only cares about self-preservation.
That's not true.
You didn't help your wife when she was being bullied because of you, always prioritizing yourself.
I didn't know.
Someone like you doesn't have the right to be a parent.
You can't decide that.
Children are delicate beings that need to be protected, even if it means sacrificing yourself.
I could do that.
Someone who doesn't understand that should never contact me again.
Hey, wait!
What now?
Are you really abandoning me?
I'm not abandoning you. I'm removing myself from this toxic situation.
You won't help me?
No, I won't. You need to face the consequences of your actions.
But we have a history together.
History that you've repeatedly disrespected and trampled on.
I'm sorry, okay? I'll do better.
It's too late for that.
Please, I'm begging you.
You're not worth helping, and I don't care anymore.
How can you say that?
I don't want to be involved with my sister or you ever again.
But we're family.
No, we're not. Not anymore.
You just can't cut us off like this.
Watch me. Well then, please resolve your marital issues between yourselves.
But
I'm no longer family to you. Goodbye, Jack.
Sarah, wait!
I hear that Jack and Emily are still discussing their divorce, but they're still fighting a lot. It seems the conversation is still going in circles with Jack saying, "What you did is defamation. I'll sue you for damages." And Emily responding, "You're the one who's wrong for blaming me for your infertility. I won't apologize or pay anything." Meanwhile, Jack's mother is desperately going around trying to fix the whole train wreck of a situation, saying it's all fabricated and my son doesn't have any fertility issues. But this is only making people more suspicious and adding fuel to the fire. Jack is furious about this, and I hear that fights are breaking out all over their shared home every day. It's basically a war zone at this point.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.